War never changes.
You're gonna knock him dead at the Veterans Hall tonight, hun.
You think?
Absolutely. Now get ready and stop hogging the mirror.
Right.
Good afternoon, I'm Stained Victory, and this is Fallout 4 Heroes Never Die, a survival playthrough where my goal is to beat the main storyline and all DLCs without dying. So, let's talk about the rules of this run. Rule 1, death is the end of the run. Once I die, I can't restart. Rule 2, no cheesing the game, and by that I mean I won't be building a million wooden walls to artificially raise my levels and settlements. I have to play the game as the developers intended it. Rule 3, no companions other than Dogmeat, and Dogmeat must survive because he is best boy. Alright, so we'll be playing as Action Jackson. As for stats, gonna start with a 3 in strength, so we get access to armor, 2 in perception for riflemen, 5 endurance to make sure we're not too squishy in the early game, 3 charisma so we have access to Lonely Wanderer, 10 intelligence for max experience as well as access to nerd rage, and 4 agility for sneak and action points. And boom. So, Action Jackson's idyllic life in pre-war world has been ruined by a nuclear bomb right down the street. And we're going to attempt to slowly get away from the explosion. And after skipping some of the cutscenes, we now have full control of Action Jackson as we try to escape from our cryopod in Vault 111. One of the first things I always do when I start one of these runs is go in and open our wife Nora's cryopod, steal her wedding ring. Not like she needs it anymore.
Come on, come on, come on!
Worth 84 cash.
Oh, God! I'll find who did this, and I'll get shot.
I always do enjoy the voice acting of the male protagonist in this game. But what we're going to do now is go ahead and loot pretty much everything we see. I'm not going to go out of my way to get everything in the vault, but anything that's easily accessible. One of the big things we're going to focus on getting, though, is the bottles. Anyone who's ever played, or who hasn't played, a survival game mode before, you have to manage a couple different resources. You have to manage your hydration, your food, and your sleep. As you go lower and lower in those areas and you have less water, food, or sleep, you're going to start to get negatives to accrue.
Giant.
And the best way
roaches?
to manage your water is to pick up bottles like beer bottles, milk bottles, etc. and then find a source of water that's purified to fill them. And wouldn't you know it, all vaults have purified water. So I'm going to go around the corner here in a second and go ahead and fill up all these bottles. Purified water is probably one of the most important resources in this game to have. You can eat raw food, and I feel like you have a less chance of getting an infection in this game by doing that than you do of drinking dirty water. So one of the other resources you have to manage is your sleep. Sleep is not as important as the other two. Its main detriment is that it's going to reduce your action points. However, by continuing to get up larger and larger kill streaks, you get a damage boost. So it's usually worth it to kind of push your... Oh, where did he come from? But it's usually worth it to try and push your sleep as far back as possible to get these kill streaks up. Because the kill streaks are reset whenever you sleep. I believe it's called the adrenaline. Yeah, it is adrenaline. So yeah, adrenaline is increasing your damage. Stay awake and get more kills to increase the bonus. Sleeping will reduce it. And your food detriments, usually it's going to decrease your max health through endurance. So you won't get a red bar on your HP like you will get on your action points with lack of sleep, but it'll just reduce the maximum amount because your endurance goes down by 1, 3, and 5, I think. But we got our first gun. We're gonna loot up some ammo and then make our way out to the actual vault door.
Terminal should open this.
Gotta use the terminal though. Also, you guys may have noticed the cryolator there. I will not be getting that this run because that requires me to get way too many points in lockpicking. And yep, there we go. I can't shoot. Come on. Nope. Yep. Alright. So speaking of managing resources, always want to pick up any sort of meat from creatures you kill. It's good to have about 20-ish things on you at any time. They're good for healing. They can help you avoid those endurance debuffs. And in general, depending on how long you're going to be out and not around a cooking area, you should just have a good supply. That guy always spawns from underneath there. Anything else I can loot? Jumpsuit? Sure. Alright. I always enjoy the cinematics of this area. First with the Pip-Boy, just putting it on your arm and then kind of logging it on is pretty cool. But then how you actually use the Pip-Boy to open up the vault. It's a really nice addition that they added in this Fallout game. And it's just a really good intro to the rest of the game. And 64K RAM. Pushing the upper limits. Equip your eyeglasses now. You can't actually equip anything until you make it to this point of the game.
Vault door cycling sequence initiated. Please stand back.
I personally think that is a very cool outro to the first vault. Just seeing all the sparks and the inspirational music. It's a really good outro. And no, we will not be changing anything about ourselves. Let's exit the vault.
Enjoy your return to the surface, and thank you for
So when we
choosing
make it into
Vault
Sanctuary,
Tech.
actually, probably going to be cutting a little bit of the footage just because I'm going to run around and clean up the place, get as many resources as possible, and then after that, when we go to Red Rocket Hill, or Red Rocket Inn, Red Rocket gas station, we're going to probably cut some more, just because I'm going to start running the resources from Sanctuary Hills to Red Rocket. I like Red Rocket more, and I want to be able to do all my building there. And by building, I mean improving guns, armor, and power armor. So a pretty consistent theme here for the early part of the run is probably going to be just looting everything. Later on, I might get more selective as my weapons and armor starts to get heavier and I have to manage what I actually have versus what I want to gather. But right now I have a pistol and a vault suit, so pretty much loot anything I can run into. And the first thing I'm going to do here is actually run forward to the workstation and build a bed. Because this game likes to crash a lot, as it's a Bethesda game, they're not exactly the most stable. So I'm going to go ahead and get autosaves in when I can. Because one thing I don't want to do is get a lot of work in and then have it taken away. Nope, right here works. so I did a little bit of inventorying. Ooh. And cleaned up a little bit, but talked to Codsworth, got him to start the quest for Sean inside of our local neighborhood. Blowflies are extremely dangerous early on. You have no damage resistance. They do fairly decent damage, and they're hard to hit. And thankfully, we've got Codsworth with us to tank all the damage. This room in particular, or house rather, is usually the harder one. The next one we can run to a specific window, and we'll see two of them pretty much lined up. Right there. And right there. Alright, loot those guys, talk to Jackson.
Your family isn't here either.
No, he's not, buddy.
They're really gone, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for trying, Codsworth.
You can't give up, sir. What about the city? Concord is nearby, and, well, the people there have only shot at me a few times.
Thanks for your help, Codsworth.
Good luck, sir. You'll find young Sean. I know you will.
I particularly enjoyed the sarcastic action there. He says, "Oh, I like these people already." But now I think I'm gonna make it to the workshop, drop some things off, and then cut until we've cleared out the whole area. Oh, wait. First, special look.
There we go.
And Grognak the Barbarian. Agility or endurance? Yep, endurance. As many hit points as possible for this run is what we're gonna want. Alright, and I'll see you guys in a little bit after I'm done clearing the whole area. And we're done. So, with a cleaned up sanctuary, I'm gonna equip some new stuff, like a formal hat, yeah, get that charisma up, and suspenders and slacks probably. 2 endurance is always nice. Alright, so let's make our way over to Dogmeat and Red Rocket. Pick up some things off these corpses here for just a little extra stuff. Let's drop off that tire iron and switchblade. Yeah. Now to my left, there's a military bag, and I should try not to forget that. Who's best boy? You are.
Hey, boy. What are you doing out here all by yourself? You seem like an okay guy.
Mm-hmm. He is.
Okay, then. Let's stick together.
Alright, so I'm going to drop off as much stuff here as possible. And I'm going to do a little bit of cleaning up while I wait for the mole rats to spawn and try and kill me. Red Rocket is by far my favorite home, or settlement rather. And if you play with a mod, you can actually make this place really nice. I personally hate the fact that you can't, in the base game, get rid of like all the dirt. Because, you know, nobody would ever bother sweeping in an apocalypse, right? Nice little tire physics there. They're taking longer than usual to spawn. And there they are. More rats and red ratches. and bowflies are probably some of the hardest things for me to hit. They're small, they're fast, and they like to just show up in unexpected places. Is that all of them? I think so. And again, whenever you can, loot your animal victims, I guess. Yeah, we'll call them victims. Alright, so I think what I'm going to do here is actually make a cut after I clean everything up. Yep, there we go. Alright, so let's go ahead and cook all the food that we did, and then we'll go ahead and actually explore the wasteland a little bit. Get out of these starting areas. I'm not going to immediately run to Concord. There's a couple areas that I can go to first that are really nice. So if we follow the lake or the river that leads to the lake right next to Sanctuary, there's 2 different spots that you can go to pick up some nice loot early in the game. And we got us a little mutant hound or wild mongrel. Some free experience and extra meat. So along this there is a supply of caps, or a stash of caps, and I think a snub-nose 44. But all you gotta do is continue to follow this, and eventually we'll see American flag. USA. But eventually you'll go ahead and find a I don't know what it's called. Like a power supply? Oh, more rats. Where'd you go, buddy? Hello. Did surprisingly little damage. So yeah, down there is something that's gonna open up supply caps for us. But first I'm gonna grab all this. Jump up there. Yeah, some purified water. So if you follow this little pipe down, it leads to a suction vac, something like that. Circuit breaker. There we go. And then you make your way back up. And this lid is openable, and it gives you some stash. Now, because I don't want to get in a fight, I'm going to continue to hug this coastline. Over there is, I think, 1 dog and like 3 or 4 raiders. And I'm squishy. Up this hill, though, there's going to be a raider that spawns. He's got a little base, and he should have a dog himself. But me and my dog are better than him and his dog. And there's some decent-ish loot for this level in the game. Yeah, see? Some jets, some ammo, and there they go. Where are they though? Oh, attack dog, raider, there we go. Go ahead and use a crit. Oh, it doesn't want to hit kill. Okay. His dog has a collar. Okay, we'll look up that on dog meat here shortly. Wait, nope. Yeah, the endurance is worth it right now.
Hey.
Come here, boy. Oh, yeah, you gotta tell him to equip
Hey.
it.
Over here.
Yep, there we go. Okay. So this is the big place that you want to come. There is a Fat Man as well as a mini nuke here. And fusion cores. It is somewhere along the outside here, and I miss it every time. Don't make me a liar, game. Okay. One more loop. See if we can find it second time around. Is it in the back of a car? I think so. Oh, there it is. Okay. Now for the mini nuke. It should be near one of these gate entrances. And I think you have to kick it to get it out. Yep, there we go. And kick it. There we go. Alright, another nice thing about this is that guy right there can actually be controlled by a holotape inside here. And there's just a lot of good loot, including Hot Rodder, which is basically a free paint job that gives your power armor +1 agility. Not bad at all. Anything I missed? I don't think so. Alright, so you can use the sentry bot out there to actually help you with some things. You can send him to different areas and he will fight the enemies there for you. I'm just gonna blow him up as soon as I can find it. There we go. My perception is a -1. So activate him. Yes. We do want to activate him. All right. And initiate self-destruct. Yes. I am sure. Okay, so just make sure that whenever you do initiate the self-destruct, you're not nearby. It hurts. And on survival this early in the game, you're not taking that. Okay. So he should go through his little boot up sequence and then blow up here shortly. Maybe not. Maybe I gotta do it again. Yes. Okay. And blow up any second here, buddy. Oh, more rat spawned. Maybe he'll fight them first. Or he could just blow up. Okay, so we'll kill the rats. Where'd you go? Should be one more. Alright, he's probably gonna spawn at the most inconvenient time. another 2 fusion cores, which is the main reason I killed this guy. Power armor is much more useful than a little bit of help during 2 missions. Okay, so now that we've dealt with them, I'm gonna go back to Red Rocket and drop everything off. Then after that, we're gonna head to the Concord Water Tower, I believe. We still got a little bit till we actually make it to the Concord Actual, but I want to get a couple extra things. And as for the Fat Man and the mini nuke I got, I'm probably never gonna actually use them. The potential for killing myself, too high. But mini nukes are pretty good for selling, so we'll probably end up doing that later on. I think they sell for a couple hundred caps at least. And again, I'm just hugging this coastline. Ooh, red stag. Can kill him for some red stag meat. Which is probably one of my favorite things to have. Increases your carry weight by 25 for an actual hour. So I mean that is in a real life hour, not an in-game hour. And you can get some hide as well as a couple of bottle caps. Hide is going to be pretty useful for upgrading any of our leather armor. The dream is to get the, I can't remember what it is, the green camo, green army fatigue, something like that. It has a +1 endurance, +1 agility, and it actually allows you to wear all armor slots over top of it. Plus it can be upgraded with the Kevlar? No, not Kevlar. The ballistic weave that you get from... Man, I can't think of what they're called right now. The railroad. You can get it from the railroad. So we'll get that, upgrade it, and then we'll wear whatever the best armor is. So probably the marine armor once we go through Far Harbor. But until we actually get to that point, it's going to be power armor 90% of the time. They're going to continue to just drop everything off, make sure that I'm as light as possible before I go out to loot again. 44 weight is pretty nice to keep too. But as we continue to go through picking up more ammo and heavier guns, that's just going to become less and less possible. So I'll put down a quick autosave, and then we're going to go over to Abernathy Farms, or nearby. There's a couple of different locations we can go to, pick up some more loot, get a little more experience. Also, this water tower here has a couple purified waters, as well as some medicine, so long as we can take out the boat flies. Not boat. Boat. Where is he? Over there. Snuck up on me. Golly, that's a lot of damage. Alright. So try and pick up this. There we go. And like I was saying, oh, antibiotics too. That's very good. Another thing that happens in survival mode if you've never played it is you can get sick. Antibiotics is probably the best way to get rid of that. You can also go to a doctor and they'll cure it for you, but antibiotics is the only way for you to do it. So this little RV camper in the distance usually has some pretty decent loot. Some ammo, maybe some stim packs. And then if we continue in this general direction, we'll find a magazine, one of the Junktown vendors. As well as a Runaways holotape and some things like that. Hot plates are also pretty nice because they give you circuitry. And they don't weigh too much. Alright. So still pretty good on weight, and we see some rad stags over here, so we'll take them out. And we're close to a level up as well. Alright, can we get him? fly. Nice. Oh, there's that level up. And it healed me too, which is very nice. Alright, he gets away, but we can take this guy out. Alright. Oh, no. I meant I did not mean to drink that. I meant to loot him. Alright. So, back to where we're going. Let's get that level up. So right now I have Lone Wanderer, Nerd Rage, and I'm about to take, Scrapper. Scrapper is really good, especially early game. It helps you whenever you have to build items. You can break your other weapons down. Get you some of those rare resources. Also, all of those power pylons usually have some pretty good stuff. Not good stuff, but they have some loot underneath them usually. Let's deal with these guys. Sounds like we got another one to our left. Yep. Alright. Where'd your body go? There we go. Nope. Disappearing on me. Okay. So here's the
Bingo.
Wasteland Survival Guide. Alright. I thought it was the Junktown vendor one. Get a little autosave in. And if we go right across this little creek, after we cook here, we can go to the Wicked Shipping. There's a couple enemies there. I think it's your first encounter with ghouls, but we can activate a little Assaultron who can help us out. And it gives us access to the Wicked Shipping key. And there's a couple different semi-trucks throughout the game that we can actually go ahead and open up with that. And if I see them and remember, I'll do that. But all in all, this is a nice little place to get some more loot, a little bit more experience, and the potential for future loot. Now I'm gonna hide here because I can get sneak attack onto the ghoul underneath this semi. And we'll unlock this guy. Turn? Yeah, turn.
Got it.
Oh, nice. First time. So I usually put them in the law enforcement one. I think that one's a little bit better. They're a little bit more aggressive than normal. I don't have any actual proof of that, but that's what it seems to be for me.
Powering up. Protectron.
So hopefully he'll be a little bit more useful. Now I don't think there's anything in here, but in the building to my left there should be one. And our first lockpick.
Sweet.
Alright. Anything back here? Nope. Alright. So there should be one right behind this. Yep, there he goes. The best thing about the barrel ghouls is if you can find them before they actually activate, they have a really long get-up time. Also, duct tape is probably one of the most important things you can find. That and Wonder Glue. Until you can set up a adhesive creation setup later on. It requires mutt fruit, water, and like one or two other things, but you can get your settlement to create all those things for you.
Yes.
Alright, another Grognak. The key that I was talking about earlier. And this right here, it's gonna it's gonna show 2 locations on my map. Nope, this isn't the one. But it's a nice little bit of lore around the wicked shipping. And cargo manifest, I think it's like the 3rd and the 2nd one. Give you map updates. Yep, so mass fusion. Nope, okay, so the 1st one. Alright. And if we check our map, we have Corvega as well as General Atomics. Now, because of how squishy I am in this game, I'm probably going to be very cautious here at the beginning. Power armor is really going to help me feel a little bit more secure, but right now I am 2-3 seconds away from death at any time. Which is why I'm kind of going to these easier locations, clearing them out to get a little bit of XP, a little bit of gear. Alright.
Over there.
See if we can get Dog Meat to go over there and...
Get into position.
Come on, boy.
Here.
Come on.
Over here.
Okay. So I was trying to get him to go over here to actually cause the enemies to spawn or wake up, but I guess I'll just hop up here and there we go. Alright. Dog Meat, I need you to listen a little bit better, buddy. And with that, I think I've killed most of them. There might be 1 or 2. Okay. Now this guy over here should have a bag full of some caps or money. One of the 2. Oh yeah, pre-war money. And Dog Meat's just being Dog Meat, floating. Nice. Alright. So just some more general loot here. Nothing really that important, but again, not a bad little run to go through. Got some decent experience, got some good loot. I think he's already dead, yeah. Did I kill him? And who the hell is that? Okay, maybe the Assaultron did some work and I just didn't hear it. Ooh, nice, a lot of good stuff. We'll be able to scrap most of that for screws and maybe a little...
Move along, citizen.
No, can't get through there. Yeah, you'll probably see me do that again. Or a lot throughout the run, like look at something, think that there's nothing useful in it, and then realize like 3 seconds later, oh wait, there was something I wanted. Bad habit of mine. And I'm gonna risk the radiation here to see if there's anything useful. No, and I'm overcumbered. What can we get rid of? Nope, want those. I guess I get rid of the blocks. I don't need any more wood, really. Wooden spoon can go, and wrench can go, too. Plenty of steel and wood. So now to just run straight back. I don't have any capacity to loot anything, so no point in going to new locations. I will swing by this just so I can get the XP from unlocking the location. I don't think I've done that yet. And there we go. So next step is to just drop everything off that we kicked up and then probably do a little bit more exploring. Don't know if I want to head to Concord just yet. However, picking up the power armor there is probably going to be pretty important shortly. So we'll see if we can do that. But I want to make sure that I have enough done here, that I'm at a decent level, and I can make it down to Diamond City without too much trouble. Alright, not bad. Dropped off a lot of weight there. Ammo is pretty important. Not just for shooting things, but if you know that you're not going to use the ammo type, it's probably one of the best ways to actually make caps. It's always a 1-for-1, so if you have 1,000 flamer fuel, you have 1,000 caps. So later on, when I get the vertibirds with the Brotherhood of Steel, I can just use the vertibirds to ferry me out here, pick up as many caps or bullets as I need to purchase something, and then vertibirds to the other location. Which is probably what I'm going to end up doing to purchase the Overseer's Guardian. Also, whenever I'm upgrading, I never use anything other than well, I don't use automatic weapons. I don't like them particularly, and they just seem to not do as much damage, actually, as you get from the more powerful versions. So like the hardened receiver versus the automatic receiver of the same level. And whenever you can, I always recommend to get the lighter barrels, reduce your weight, carry more things. Now I'm probably going to get the reflex on all of these. The pipe pistols, it's not really fair to call it a reflex sight. It's really just 2 screws between like a can. But it does the job. I think it's a little bit better than the actual regular iron sights. I think that's it for what we have to upgrade. Let's see. Can I pick anything up or drop anything else off? Alright. Those fusion cores are also important. I'm going to need to have a good stockpile, because if I can't talk... I think like I've already said this, but if I can't talk the people into Vault 84 into letting me in, I have to pay them in 3 fusion cores. So having a good supply of those on hand is nice. And also, it just gives me more time in power armor. Alright, let's upgrade this. Well, no. Let's take everything out and then break everything down that I can. Okay, just the jumpsuits, which is nice. I always hated the fact that you can't actually put the ballistic weave on your Vault jumpsuits. Seems like it would make a lot of sense. Is it worth it? No. Yeah, let's do it. Screw it. I'll get more adhesive later. Can I do any of these? No, I can't. Okay. Whenever I get something that I can actually wear underneath the actual armor pieces, I'll do that. Or when I get more armor pieces. Yeah, see, I can't wear the suspenders and slacks with that. Yeah, okay, well, I guess I'll do that instead. Drop off all that apparel that I got, cash outfits, all that. I doubt I'll actually come back to pick these up for anything, but it's nice to have them just in case. Drop all those mods off at the cash register. Yep. Let's check, see if there's anything I need. Store the junk. Okay, I think I'm ready. Yeah. Do I need those? I don't know. Let's go ahead and get these all set up on 1, 2, and 3. Or rather 1, 3, and 2. And then yeah, let's drop those off. Yeah, we'll get rid of the Molotovs too, because I'll probably kill myself rather than the enemies. So what I think the last two things I'm going to do is kill the blood bugs down here. Go at, well, 3 things. Kill the blood bugs, loot a raider and a Brahmin up the street, and get thicket excavation. Those surprisingly did very little damage. I would have expected that to hurt me a lot more. So yeah, up here is a grill, a Brahmin, a dead raider, and usually a combat knife. I'm not sure if the combat knife is hard-coded into the game or not, but every time I've come by, it's been one. I'm not going to pick it up though, because all it gives you is steel if you break it down, and I don't plan on doing melee. Alright, in the distance there, you probably see a satellite. That's actually a pretty good place to go if you're not trying to do a you only live once or heroes never die run through. I wouldn't want to go there right now just because my damage reduction is so low, or damage threshold rather, and there's thicket excavations. Not quite enough to get the level, but I think that's about all I want to do right now. But yeah, the enemies inside that satellite, one of them has power armor and a minigun, and that will just chew through me. Okay, so now we're gonna head to Red Rocket, and I think that's all we'll do for today's session. So I'll see you guys when I get there. Home sweet home. So I just want to say thanks for joining me, guys. Hopefully I can make this commentary a little bit better. Drop a little quick save. Yeah. Oh geez. Infection already? Alright. I'll deal with that next episode. So again, guys, dog meat move. There we go. Hit you guys with that slow spin. Thanks for joining me. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And I'll see you guys for the next episode. Later.